Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Glacier Chains cable snow tire chains here on our 2021 Ford Bronco Sport. So if you guys are looking for a nice light duty application, just to go ahead, make sure you have a little bit of chains inside your vehicle. That way you're either staying legal with your state, or B, just to go ahead and start giving you a little bit of traction control when you guys really need it. So these steel rollers are going to be, like I said, for your light duty applications. A, because they are steel rollers. Well, what does that do? Well, as you guys can see here, it's not going to be like your traditional set of chains with a hard linkage in place, staying nice and tight on your vehicle. You actually have these rollers. They're actually going to assist your driving. So they are going to be a little bit smoother while still giving you that just a little bit of kind of bite you need into that snow and ice for ourselves. Now there are going to be a couple things we want to keep in mind with our tires. Today we are working on two 25/65 R17 tires. Your guys might be a little different at home. Highly suggest putting into the fit guide we have here at etrailer.com your exact size of tire. That way you're making sure you are getting the correct fit. But also to keep in mind that we are going to probably have to put these on all of our tires. Ford does recommend, since we are an all-wheel drive package for our Bronco Sport, that we do need a set of chains on each pair of tires. So do keep that in mind as we are going forward. But one thing that's pretty nice about these guys, they don't really take too much time to actually get installed. Let's go ahead and see how we can do that together. To begin your installation, we're going to go ahead and lay out your chain just like you're seeing it. What we're looking for, any kind of kinks or binds in our cables holding them up. Now, one thing that's nice about the steel rollers compared to your more traditional style of chains is you don't have a lot going on. So it's going to be really easy. Just go ahead and work it out. A lot of times all that happens is one of your ends is pinched underneath one of your cables. Really easy to walk it out and get it just like you're seeing here. So that's one thing that's nice about them. Really easy to store when you roll them up. But the other things we're looking for here, guys, as you guys can see, we have our hard points of our contact facing up towards us. Now, what do I mean by that? On the other side here, we have our tire side, as it indicates on here. And that's going to have a smoother side for yourself, and you want that to be in connection with your tire. And that way, this hard point of contact doesn't end up scraping, rubbing up, or puncturing your tire, and therefore wearing it down or deflating it. But now that that is looking good, we just want to find ourselves in the middle of our cables here. Simply grab it and set it on your tire. They're very lightweight, very, very easy to pick up, and again, kind of more for your light duty applications. But now that it's on there, we need to get underneath our vehicle and make our first connection. As you guys can see, we're going to have these little squares there. Those are basically going to be our holders to go ahead and start tensioning this on for ourselves. So to do that, we're going to take our other end. We're simply going to place that cable on our bracket and try to slide it down. Not nearly as much as we can per se, but what I'm looking for at this position is making sure that we're not impacting here too much on the inside of our wheel. What do I mean by that? You guys can see our wire kind of staying to the sidewall here of our inner tire. We don't want it too tight, as that can start interacting with our strut up here. So right now as it stands, we can go ahead and try it in this position. You may need to back this up just a little bit and get it a little tighter, but for now I think this is going to be a nice fit for ourselves. And on the other side here, you do have this little bracket to go ahead and hold on to your extra here, guys. So let's make sure we get that nice and kind of held in place. That way it's not ticking around on the underside of your vehicle. Now with our back connection made, we can bring ourselves to the front one more time and start fitting in this last little connector here. So I'm not really having too much room. I need to get a good hold on that inside of that cable, really start pulling these guys across. And it looks like today I'm only going to be able to get this first little connector here. Now that's not going to be the end of the world for me, but I do need to go ahead and get it on. Can be helpful to loop your bottom finger here on that cable just to give you a little bit of extra slack to try and pull it and get it in position. So there we have it, nice and locked in. I'm seeing just a little bit of movement on here though. So one thing we want to go ahead and do is also grab ourselves some rubber tensioners to go ahead and start pulling this all towards the center. So let me go ahead and grab those and get them on. Now the rubber tensioners in hand, we can go ahead and start putting them on. Now to install these guys, basically going to treat it like a lug nut you would on your wheel, except you're going to have 6 points of contact rather than 5. One thing we want to keep in mind too, our hook does need to be pointed away from our tire. Again, we don't want to be damaging our sidewall here, ruining our tire, and we just want to hook there at the top. We can go ahead and bring ourselves to the bottom, and we just need to go all the way around our tire just like so. It is going to be a little wonky just because I'm trying to avoid this bottom connection there. And yeah, I think that's doing pretty good. I know we're a little cattywampus, but I don't want to put any points of contact on there. And I think this is still doing a great job. You can see pulling this extra bit here in the middle. Now I'm not having any shift on my rollers. I love to see that. So we are nice and installed thanks to our rubber tensioner. With that all said and done though, we do want to go ahead and make sure we're doing this process on the other sets of our tires like we mentioned before. And secondly, go ahead, pull forward, roll it back a few times, just make sure everything's sitting correctly and double check your connections. But other than that, you're ready to rock and roll. Otherwise though guys, I think that about does it for our look at the Glacier Chains snow cable chains here on our 2021 Ford Bronco Sport. I'm Bobby, thank you for watching.